What is a Bop It game and how do you play it? I can't keep track of how many times I've gotten these questions. I'm not mad or anything, I'm just pointing it out. Like, in this video, I'm going to answer those questions. So, Bop It, released chronologically in 1996, is a action and reaction game where if you use the original three input layout, which pardon me, the three input ones have three bopjects. I love that name. Bop, twist, and pull. It's arranged like this if you use the original layout. There are a few exceptions. There's Bop It Blast, the character Bop Its, and I think technically, actually no, that's about it. So anyway, what is Bop It? I've already said that it's an action reaction game. Bop, twist, and pull your way to victory. It's a very interesting game. If you've never played it before, it is an absolute blast. Let me go over the important details first. This, that's Vox Bop Pass It. You wouldn't be able to tell because you just hear a sound effect. That is Beep Bop Pass It, where you pass it. You still pass it, but it's not voice commands, it's sound effects. And that is Vox Bop Solo. So Vox Bop, that's basically its way of saying, oh, I'm going to issue voice commands, you either bop, twist, pull, whatever I say. Beep Bop, it's just sound effects, and like you just pass it whenever it says pass it and does this do beat. And then Vox Bop Solo, exactly what it sounds like. You just do it on your own. Depending on your version of the game that you're playing, especially if it's the original, there are a few variants. Mine is the 2000 variant. 1996 variants are definitely slower. I think there's an input delay either before or after or both. Like when you do the input, like there's a very brief delay. If you pay close attention, you will notice it, but it takes a lot of observation and paying close attention. I think there's a 97. Ignoring that in case there isn't. 98 and 99, a little bit faster. I believe those score up to either 100 or 200. I can't remember. The original 96 scores up to 100. This is a 2000, and the pacing is a lot more moderate, and it scores up to 200. There's a way to, like, how do I explain this? To understand what your score is, and if you've already like done either a full, half, or quarter of a run, just twist it. That's 6 points. That thud, which I think it's supposed to be the Bop It sound, 1 point. The twist it, rash it sound is supposed to be, I think, either 5 or 10 points. And the pull it whistle, woo, it'll do it repeatedly. That's 100 points. And if you get a full run, even if it's like, a 200, it'll go do, which it's like a celebratory victory theme. I'm not going to do a full run on any of these. I don't want this video to be redundant. I'm just gonna like play a little bit of each and every one of them.
Bop it. Pull it. Bop it. Twist it. Bop it. Bop
it. 5 points. And in case you're wondering, because most people actually don't know, aside from our electronic gaming community, the original Bop It, bop it, twist it, pull it, and then pass it, like with the thing. Not the melody itself, but like the voice clips. Bob Welch, a staffer at, I believe, Parker Brothers or Kid Group, Clips their industrial design group, provided the voice of the original Bop It. That, ow! You've probably heard that a million times, like in other places besides Bop It. Most notably, and funnily enough, the very first Metal Slug game, which released in 1996. It was probably a crazy coincidence, considering that that's a stock sound effect. A stock sound effect is something that you've heard a million times in other forms of media, but I don't want to like be redundant. Moving on. Chronologically, after that, in the year 2002, we got a slight redesign. It's definitely a lot more compact than the originals, and it's got a new logo. The bopjects are slightly redesigned. Any interesting side notes? The internal speaker, not the speaker grill itself, was erroneously flipped upside down during development, and you listen to the audio quality, it's definitely noticeable. Not only that, but the pacing is insanely fast. Another good reason why I'm not doing the full run. But it's just the same, so I'm just going to do a little bit.
Bop it.
Yeah, it's just the exact same thing verbatim, but a lot faster. Audio quality is a little bit different and a lot more compact. Later, and I believe either 2003 or 2004, we got arguably one of the most controversial Bop It games ever created. And before I move on to the controversy itself, I'm not gonna like talk about it, just like you'll hear it for yourself. Let me say for the record, it's not just the community that hates it. Dan Klitzner has said himself that he absolutely despises this thing. He had next to no control. He had no involvement in like this one with this one. It's just a Bop It game. They cashed in on the trend of brats at the time. And if you're wondering what's wrong with it, just listen. I actually changed the batteries off screen because I tried to record this earlier and it had really low batteries. But you'll see what the main problem is. Yeah, once you listen to that voice, I'm not going to elaborate on why that's wrong. Figure it out in your own time. But ignoring that, I believe 1 year after that, we got Bop It Blast, which unfortunately is not responding. This is actually because Bop It Blast is notorious for having very bad internal wiring. But if I had to explain what changes aside from like aesthetics, as you can see, the game is clearly posable. You can pose it like as if it were a boomerang or something. It's kind of funny. Chadtronic jokingly refers to it as like a hedge trimmer, which is funny. But yeah, other than that, there's a mode called Light Bop in which the lights light up, and if it's a false command, say it says twist it and this lights up, you don't respond, it counts as a point. Other than that, there's actually a one-on-one mode, which that was first introduced in the Bop It Extreme 2, which I think is next to me. Hopefully that shows up on camera. That is the pink UK exclusive Extreme 2, by the way, but I'm not doing the extremes. I'm just doing the 3-input Bop Jack layout in this retrospective thing. But yes, they're color coded. Blue on this side, green on the other side. Whoever bops it 5 times wins, or whoever messes up loses, and the other side wins. It's the original 3-input. It actually has 3 voices. Well, technically 2. You can choose to have either male, female, or both voices at the exact same time. I actually say that at the same time that I'm doing it because you obviously cannot hear it because the audio cut out because of the terrible wiring inside. As for modes, there's Vox Bop, Beat Bop, Light Bop. I said that earlier. Pass it solo one-on-one. This maxes out at 500 points as well. And it uses the exact same victory theme verbatim from the original Bop Its, which that being the original 96, I think there's a 97, 98, 99, 2000, and the 2002 reissue. The only redeeming thing about the Bratz Bop is that its victory theme, it's the exact same thing, but it has a different instrumentation. But yeah, sorry, I can't actually play this one, so pardon me on that. Fast forward to the year 2008, and we got definitely a fan favorite, the Bop It Shout. It is highly regarded as one of the best Bop It games of all time. It's very, very snappy, very, very responsive, and this was also the very first Bop It game to be voiced by Buddy Russell Rubino. For those who don't know, and for anyone who wants like information, like historical information on Buddy Russell Rubino, before he became the VA for Bop It, with a few exceptions like the character ones and Bop It Beats, which that's pretty much it. Ignoring that, like every mainstay Bop It, even Smash and Tetris, he was the voice actor for it. He never even knew what the Bop It game was at the time. He had to do extensive research, but you wouldn't be able to tell because he is just hilarious as Bop It. Like his Bop It persona, he has so much fun being Bop It. This was the very first game he voiced in 2008. I believe that's when his career really took off as well as a VA. And you're probably asking, what else changes? The pacing, like especially considering compared to like the other ones over there, pacing is a lot more consistent. Like it speeds up when it needs to. And you're probably asking, why is it called Bop It Shout? Look here, a little switch that covers a 3-line input microphone thing. That's the main reason why I wanted to get it, because you can actually see the microphone, like the actual microphone that's below the grill. You can turn it on or off. I prefer to play with it off. I play with it on whenever I want to. So, yeah, let me play a little bit of it.
Solo, passive, party.
Also, yeah, that's Party Bop, which I don't really do that. I don't have anyone to play Bop It with in the first place.
Hard solo.
There's also a difficulty setting.
Expert, master, novice, blasting.
Volume control was added, which was first introduced in the Extreme 2 via the Spin It command.
Quiet, loud, blasting.
But all 3-input Bop It games have it via the Twist It.
Quiet, loud, blasting.
I'm just going to do a little bit of it.
High score 100. Bop it. Twist it. Oh, you can do this. Score 4.
If you're wondering what Shout It is like, I'll just do a little bit with Shout It.
Shout it. High score 100. Shout it.
Yeah!
Bop it. Yeah! You can do this. Score 4.
That's what Shout It is like. Like, you just shout into the microphone. It's pretty cool.
Bop it to start.
And then here's a really interesting secret about the Bop It games, for those who don't know.
I'm going to sleep.
What's interesting about that, not only does it doesn't just go to sleep, but it actually prevents battery consumption, and not only that, it wasn't Dan Plitzner, the inventor of Bop It, who implemented that feature. It was actually one of his friends, I believe he was a partner at Kid Group, whose name escapes me for some reason, but I was informed by Dan Plitzner that it wasn't his idea, it was his partner's idea. So, ignoring Smash and XT, because Smash is a spin-off. No, ignoring Smash, Tetris, those are spin-offs, and XT. XT is just another Extreme. But fast forward to 2014, and we get a much more smaller and, to be honest, really adorable version of the Shout that omits the Shout It feature. This is Bop It Micro Series. And it's definitely one of the more compact and portable Bop It games you will ever find. If you want to include the pens, the keychains, the carabiners, which I avoid those for redundancy because I don't want to have this video be redundant. But ignoring that, this is definitely the most compact and adorable Bop It ever. It has only 2 modes.
Solo, pass it.
Solo and Pass It.
Blasting.
It still has volume control.
Solo.
It stores up to 100. Every modern Bop It game except New Moves stores up to 100.
High score 100. Pull it. Yow! Too fast for you. Score 3.
But if you're looking for a simple Bop It, go with this
Bop
one.
it to start.
Wait for it to turn off. It's going to go to sleep.
I'm going to sleep.
And after this, for those who aren't who've never heard of Bop It and are curious, after 2014's Bop It Micro Series, there was a trend that started a lot of Bop It games based on the original 3-input layout that are modeled after popular characters. I think that video of the wake-ups and shutdowns in chronological order should still be on my YouTube channel, so refer to that. But for those who haven't seen it, and for those who are new to my channel, newcomers to Bop It in general, the characters that they made into Bop It games: R2-D2, BB-8, Minion Stewart, Baby Groot, Olaf, Chewbacca, marketed as Chewie, Grogu, which was marketed as the child at the time, and Spider-Man, with Spider-Man being the most recent. Spider-Man came out last year. And now we fast forward to Bop It New Moves. The most creative, bizarre, and entertaining Bop It game I've ever played. I refer to it as the definitive edition of the Bop It game, and you may notice that it may look like it has just 3 commands, 3 bopjects. And also, if you listen carefully, there's no actual button. This is because it has a kind of technology referred to as an accelerometer. There is no button that you can actually press. And again, you might think this is just 3 commands, but wait until you see this.
Bop it to stop blasting. High score 40. Bop it. Twist it. Pull it. Hammer it. Bop it. Hammer it. Twist it. Drink it. Pull it. Bop it. hammering a nail? Score 15.
Yeah, you saw that correctly. There's motion sensor technology commands. And there's a total of 13 commands in total because of this. Bop, twist, pull. You saw hammer it. You saw selfie it, drink it. There's a lot of commands, and it's a very creative idea. It was a very creative version of the Bop It game at the time. It was also very experimental for Hasbro and Dan Klitzner to come up with this kind of idea for Bop It. Hold on.
I'm going to sleep.
There we go. Yes, this is definitely, I consider it the definitive edition of the Bop It game, but it all depends on your preference, really. And I wanted to bring that because, lastly, again, if you exclude the character ones, we have the Bop It Classic, released chronologically in 2019, but reissued and revised in 2020. I think there were plans for a revision in 2021, last year, but those were just rumors, so, take everything you hear with a grain of salt from, people who don't know what they're talking about. Openly speaking as a researcher, I fact-check a lot, but that's not the point of the video. This is essentially modeled after the Shout, but it's not bulbous like the Shout, you can definitely tell. It's basically just a Micro, but it looks like a Shout. The only unique thing about it...
Solo, pass it, beat bop. Solo, beat bop, pass it. Loud, quiet, blasting.
It has beat bop solo, beat bop pass it. Micro does not have that. This one does not have party or difficulty selection or even the Shout. It has room for the Shout right there.
I'm going to sleep.
I'm just going to play a little bit and then I'll end the video.
Solo, I score 3.
I reset it.
Bop it. Twist it. Pull it. Oh, too fast for you. Score 3.
But yes, these are definitely this and Micro are.
Bop it to start.
I believe even still Micro. They're still in print. I believe this is the reason why this one exists was to.
I'm going to sleep.
To appeal to people who are new to Bop It and want to experience Bop It for the first time because it looks like the Shout, but it's not the Shout. But anyway, that's more or less a lot of technical jargon, a lot of information in general about Bop It, how it works. This is a video that I wanted to make for a very long time, and it was my absolute pleasure. I was happy to oblige for those who want to know how Bop It works, what it's about, the concept. If you're interested in electronic gaming, give Bop It a shot. It's definitely a fun experience. Anyway, Airform Joe 94 signing out. Catch you on the flip slide.